Hey, this is Bert. I've had a pretty fun week here with lots of action figures showing up in the mail. Unfortunately, I can't do my usual thing where I just open each one as it arrives because I've been helping out my friend Pokey, who's actually a serious carded collector, whereas I'm only a loose collector. So to help him out, anytime one of my figures arrives nicely, I trade it with his damaged figure. And a lot of these figures behind you, these are behind behind me. A lot of these figures behind me, they are from Walmart, and so you know they arrived damaged. Finally, Pokey and I made the trade, and I can open these guys up. So let's jump to it. Another cool thing about all these is they're all Return of the Jedi figures. What could be cooler than that? It's like the old days when they had themes to a wave. Okay, we've got 3 of them are 50th anniversary, and then Han Solo here is on his own, or should I say solo? Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, but anyways. What we have ATST Drive, we have Han Solo in Endor gear, we have Princess Leia in Endor gear, and then Paploo. Also, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be comparing each of these figures to its previous version. All right, let's open them all up. All right, I thought about reviewing these in numerical order, but let's just go with left to right. The ATST driver first. Now, this ATST driver was last available in the Kmart 2-pack. The only real change to this figure is the photoreal update to his face. Each of them is based on director Richard Marquand. Photoreal just makes it look a little bit more like the actual director. Okay, I don't think the sculpt has changed. Maybe it has. It looks to me to be the same sculpt, just with the photoreal paint apps. So kind of a cool feature, but if you're like me and you're just going to have the helmet on anyways, you can't even tell. So if you so this guy's a little unnecessary unless you're going to have the helmet off, or if you are a carded collector, because this one did not, the first one did not come on a card back. He was in a special 2-pack box. If you're looking for the ATST driver, he's vintage collection number 192, and he's part of the 50th anniversary collection. Next we have Han in trench coat. And just like the ATST figure, we're looking at a figure where the figure itself has already been done, actually a couple times here. The main body first originated with the Vintage Saga Collection Han Solo Endor, and was used again with an updated face later on in the Black Series 3.75 inch, and also in one of those battle packs. But what you see here is now he's got the photoreal face and a much better color for the trench coat. The original trench coat was like this tannish color with the pocket. Then it got a little sandier, but the pocket was lost, and then now it's a really gray color, and you can see that that's far more accurate to how he looks in the movie. The photoreal on this, I think, is kind of a mixed bag. I mean, there's some instances where I look at this figure and I think it looks just like Harrison Ford, and then there's other instances like right here. This is a good one. That's a good shot right there. Okay, but then, straight on, it just kind of looks like sort of like Harrison Ford, but really old. I think part of it has to do with the sculpt, and part of it has to do with, kind of overdoing the lips and everything like that. I kind of wish that they took the Black Series 6-inch Harrison Ford likeness and just shrank that down. That I think would have worked better. Maybe even take the whole figure. Could use an update. It's not too bad. Some odd things that they still haven't gotten around to changing. He's got the belt that has his holster on it. But then he's got this second belt, and that really should be black. I don't know why they continue to make that brown. I kind of feel like they took a couple steps backwards with the stripes on his legs. If you look at the Black Series one, the color's slightly better. Not as shiny and green as this one. And then actually, if you look at the Vintage Original Trilogy collection, I really like this one. Maybe the yellow could be brighter, but I like the fact that it's got the alternating yellow and brown stripes all the way down the pants. Another thing that they haven't gone and done yet is adding the silver to the belt. Something that I did when I painted my own, back before this came out. And you can see I corrected the belt color too. And that's all part of my Rebuilding Endor video if you haven't watched that yet. So that covers everything with Han Solo. Let's take a look at Princess Leia. Again, Princess Leia, just like Han Solo, is a reused body mold from a Vintage Saga Collection figure. You can see when you put them side by side, they made a lot of changes to this figure since then, even though the body is essentially the same. Probably the main thing you're going to notice is the photoreal face and the updated sculpt for the face. Okay, really improves the likeness, makes it look a lot more like Princess Leia. My one fault with this is that as we get these faces more and more realistic, it makes the hair seem kind of out of place when they don't do, a wash or perhaps some dry brushing or maybe just not such solid shiny paint. Some sort of I feel like they should be doing something to make the hair feel like it matches with the photoreal face better. Plus she looks a little sad, but I'll take it. The belt is another obvious improvement, and then of course there's the poncho. The brighter colors, the markings, everything about it. And also, even the helmet's improved. While they lost the straps, I'd rather have one without straps than have one where the straps kind of hang down like that. And there's some black that's missing. Okay, they just went brown. But if you look, the silver, the dent, they really took their time and tried to make this not just any Endor Rebel helmet, but specifically Princess Leia's. And so that, you got to give them some props for that. Plus, it fits really nicely. If you look at the fit, it's more snug on the head, looks more natural. Actually, in a way, it also makes it way more disappointing that in a few months' time when the Luke Endor comes out, he doesn't have a removable helmet. So, I mean, they did such a nice job with this one. It's too bad they just didn't, use what they learned here and carry that through to make the Luke Endor. You probably want to know a couple other things about Princess Leia Endor. How does she look without the poncho on? Okay, and you can see right there another dramatic improvement. First of all, this weird awkward neck thing is gone. Okay, the head fits better on the neck, and the colors are better matched. Okay, there's some odd color matching there. Plus, they painted the belt. Okay, she kind of always looked weird in your Rebel briefing room setups without the black belt, so that's a nice little addition there too. Okay, overall, this choice of peach that they did on the Vintage Saga Collection one for the sleeves on the shirt against this, makes the skin look really like a really strange color. Whereas here, making that undershirt tan and the skin peach, that looks really nice. Just a nice choice there. Okay, so really dramatically improved, and really the perfect Endor Princess Leia for your Rebel briefing room scene. All right, here is Paploo. Paploo, the most recent version of him prior was the Legacy Collection version, and you're actually going to hear a lot of people say that they like the Legacy Collection version better, and I can see what they're saying, and it really comes down mostly to this face. Okay, what they did to make the Vintage Collection one here on the right, the new one, is they actually just took Lumat and repainted him. Okay, and seems all well and good when you think about the fact that Lumat is a lot of people's, not just mine. He's my very favorite Ewok, but modern Ewok figure, I should say. But the problem is, as great of a figure as he is, he's very specific. There's not many Ewoks that have those cute little pouty lips that Lumat has. And so reusing him for Paploo was maybe not a great choice. Or maybe just reuse his body, but they really should have sculpted a new face. It just doesn't look like Paploo's face. That and the lack of contrast between the nose color, the lip color, and then the fur, and even the eyes, just makes him kind of look vacant and loses some of the personality he has. The Legacy Collection version, as you can see, he has that contrast between the nose and lips against the fur. And while I feel like his frown kind of hangs down a little too much on the sides, just being able to see his teeth makes it feel more like Paploo. However, there are some improvements on this figure. Obviously, with the Lumat sculpt, using that body comes better articulation in the arms. And they updated his hood to make it more accurate to the movie. They've added details here and here, and then they added the feather up at the top. Though, you know, he does have a red feather in the movie. I always see, when you see the red feather, there's usually a white one and occasionally a yellow one that's in front of it. So I would have liked to actually have seen 2 feathers up there, but they also improved the back. As you look at the back of the hood, that's now more accurate to what we see in the movie too. Also, talking about the hood, one step backwards is this wash they had in the Legacy Collection one. Really gives those details, really makes them stand out. So even though this hood is more accurate, I would have loved to have seen that kind of brownish gray wash over the whole thing to bring out those details and make it look like a real worn and weathered hood like the Legacy Collection one. I'm sure what you really want to know is, can Paploo and Princess Leia ride a speeder bike? And even though Carrie Fisher is a little bit short for a biker scout, with a little bit of work, I could get it so that her feet could actually fit in the peg holes on the feet pedals and her hands reach the handlebars. So it takes a little bit of work. Unfortunately, it's pretty tough to get her head to look straight ahead. And then, of course, same thing with Paploo. But you're supposed to think that Paploo isn't really riding this thing like he's supposed to anyways. Okay? Like a little piece, some sort of clear thing to just kind of prop his legs up so it looks like he's like flying. He's a little too heavy to just stand like that on its own. Alright, and that wraps things up. I hope you liked this review and unboxing of all these great figures behind me. And I want you to take a minute and just like and subscribe. Because, you know, while I don't know what video I'm making next, I do know you're going to like it. So I'll see you then. Bye, everybody.